Hi everyone, it's Thursday afternoon, 5:45 p.m. This is Michelle Chua. Usually at this time I'm teaching yoga classes at Cal State Northridge. However, for the next few weeks we are bound to stay online instead of meeting face-to-face due to the coronavirus threat. So I thought that one of the practices that I'm going to lead you through today would be centered around the practice of equanimity. So here's a definition of equanimity by Jack Kornfield and Joseph Goldstein in their book, Seeking the Heart of Wisdom, the Path of Insight Meditation. Equanimity, then, is a quality of mind and heart that, when developed, allows one to meet every kind of experience with both strength and a softness or fluidity that doesn't get caught by circumstances. To discover its power within is one of the great joys of practice. So rather than talk about it and lecture about it some more, I would love for us to digest it through our bodies and our minds and in the practice of balancing the breath. So we're going to start with a pranayama practice, which is great for right now, and it's calming for the nervous system. It helps to balance the left and right hemispheres of the brain, and just to help tune into the more subtle layers of your body energetically. So find a comfortable seat, and if you are trying to sit cross-legged and the knees are uncomfortably lifting, you could elevate your pelvis on a pillow or a block, something firm, to allow your knees to drop more easily. And then allow your sitting bones left and right to firmly ground as you lift up through the center of your spine so that your posture feels alert but not rigid. So allow the shoulders to soften back and down. And then as you rest your hands in your lap, before we try to change anything about the breath, perhaps close your eyes and just tune in to how your body is naturally breathing right now. Being a window to the internal and how you feel in your mind and your body. And as you notice that, whatever's present for you, take a moment to be there, to acknowledge what is there. Together in this pranayama breathwork practice, but as the pattern repeats itself and you feel comfortable to continue at your own pace, just keep going at your own pace. Start by resting your left hand in your lap. You might bring the thumb and first finger to touch, helps to feel more interconnected, helps to focus. And then with your right hand, stick out your thumb, pinky, and ring finger. And as you close the mouth, breathe slowly and softly through your nose. Perhaps also closing the eyes. Exhale this breath completely. Hold it out. And with your right thumb, cover your right nostril. Inhale through your left. Hold the breath in. With the last two fingers, cover left nostril. Exhale through right. Hold the breath. Inhale through right. Hold. Cover right with thumb. Exhale through left. Hold. Inhale left. Hold. Cover left. Exhale right. Hold. Inhale right. Hold, cover right, exhale left. And a few more times, keep going at your pace. Breath, release both hands on your lap. And just notice the way you're breathing naturally, the way you're feeling. You might even feel a subtle shift in how you feel inside. Observing the power you have to use your breath to alter your breathing, to affect the way you feel. Let's move into another pranayama that we'll use to move the body with, called Ujjayi pranayama, or victorious breath. So now as you close the lips, sustain your breath equally through your nose, while softly narrowing the back of your throat, so that you can hear a gentle, soothing whisper as the breath brushes past the back of your throat and exits your nostrils. So pay attention to that sound as you begin to move the body, keeping it balanced, smooth, sustained. Also helps to keep the nervous system calm while warming up your body. And again, for using breath work, practicing physically the state of equanimity. If you find that balanced breathing disturbed in any way as we start to move, and give yourself permission to slow down the way you're moving, even if it's not the same pace that I'm leading, or to ease a little bit out of a posture, or to simply rest, tracking the quality of your breath. So we're going to start by standing at the top of your mats in mountain pose. So as you come to the very front, take a look at your feet and separate them so your heels are right under your hips. Parallel your second toes, and then spread your toes, grounding the four corners of each foot onto your mat. So that in rooting down more intentionally, you feel an energy up through the legs, lifting the body, and then lifting through the back of your skull, parallel your chin to the ground. Turning the palms to face forward, relax the shoulders down, mountain pose. While visibly, there doesn't appear to be a lot happening, energetically, in every posture, there's a balancing, grounding, lifting, expanding, lengthening, as you pay attention to the calm steadiness of your breath. So now let's start to move the body and warm up. We'll start with half sun salutations. As you firm down to your feet, inhale, reach the arms overhead, relaxing the shoulders down. Look and see your palms touch. As you exhale, bend your knees so as to lengthen, not round your spine as you bow from the hips. Pressing your fingertips on your shins or the ground. Breathe in, lean your weight a little heavier on the balls of your feet and stretch your spine parallel to the floor. Little bend in the knees so that you're helping to support the lower back as you lift the abdomen towards it. Press the chest forward, lengthen through the sides of your neck, the sides of your torso. In this half forward fold, take another inhale. Keep the length of your spine and exhale to fold. So you might bend the knees even more as you press down through your feet. Inhale, circle your arms overhead. Watch your palms touch. Then exhale, trace your thumbs down your center line. So let's turn that into a flow with a breath. Inhale your arms overhead. Exhale, bow from your hips, maybe bend the knees. Inhale, press with your hands to lengthen forward. Exhale, fold in. Root down through the feet. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, back to the heart. One more half sun salutation. Inhale the arms overhead in Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bow in Uttanasana. Inhale, half Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale again, Uttanasana. Inhale, arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, trace the thumbs down into Tadasana. So now let's break down sun salutation A. We'll start at a very slow pace with a modification. So inhale your arms overhead. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, press to lengthen halfway. Carefully flatten your palms on the floor and step your knees to the ground, coming onto a modified plank pose. See that your knees are directly under your hips, your wrists are directly under your shoulders, and as you spread your thumbs flat towards each other, point your index fingers forward so they're parallel. Feel your hands like you did with your feet. Root down and feel a lift up so that rather than sinking into your shoulder joints, you're creating space in your shoulder joints. Now lifting the lower belly towards the back. Feel the engagement of your abdomen as you lengthen the tailbone back. Looking in front of your hands, lengthen the sides of your neck. Take another inhale here in a modified plank. Then as you exhale, keep lifting the belly, glide forward, bend your elbows back so your arms hug your side ribs, and then begin to lower, if you can, chest and belly at the same time. If that's too much, lower the chin first, slide the belly to the floor. As you straighten the legs on the ground, point the tops of your feet onto the floor. Keep your pelvis on the floor. With your wrists beside your floating ribs, bend your elbows to hug your sides, and then using your back muscles, breathe in and coil your chest up. Looking slightly down, lengthen the back of your neck. Take another breath in Cobra, soften the shoulders away from your ears. Then press up to all fours again. Spreading the fingers flat, tuck your toes. Bending your knees, lift your pelvis as high as you can, away from your hands towards the back of your mat, downward facing dog. So here, you want to feel that your shoulders are lifted away from your neck. The head is relaxed, hanging freely, looking towards your feet. And then to warm up on this first downward dog, you might just start to pedal your feet in place, pressing one heel into the floor as you bend the opposite knee, switching sides a few times, breathing in, breathing out through the nose, that same steady sound. Now feel free to bend your knees as much as you need to feel as if you have a flat back, rather than rounding your shoulders forward. You want to lift the hips and send your weight towards the rear of your mat, whether or not your legs can straighten or your heels can touch the floor. Take another breath in downward facing dog. Bend your knees, lift your heels and hips higher. Look in front of your hands. At the end of your next exhalation, walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat, standing forward folds. Inhale, press to lengthen forward. Exhale, fold. Root through the legs. Inhale the arms up to rise. Exhale, join your hands at your heart. So now let's add on. You can do the same thing as we just did, modified with the knees on the floor in plank, or we'll take it through a full plank. So start with the arms by your sides. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, press to lengthen halfway. Plant your hands, either set the knees down, modified, or straighten the legs into full plank. As you exhale, glide forward, keeping the spine like one straight line. Hug your elbows to your side ribs and lower slowly. Point the tops of your feet on the floor. Breathe in and coil your chest up, keeping your pelvis heavy on the mat. Tuck your toes, either with knees on the floor or legs straight. Press up and lift your pelvis back. 3 to 5 breaths in downward facing dog. So as you're spreading your weight from the heels of your palms throughout every knuckle, throughout your fingertips, draw your shoulders up, away from the neck, drop the head, and rotate your triceps or outer upper arms towards the mat. Seal in the bottom of your front ribs. Press your sitting bones behind you. And then bending your knees, take a deep breath and look forward. At the bottom of the exhale, think about lifting your pelvic floor as you walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat. Inhale, press to lengthen forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle the arms to rise up. Exhale, your palms together at your heart. So in practicing equanimity, as we flow 2 rounds more of Sun Salutation A, find a steadiness of breath to create a steadiness of flow of movements. The smooth transition between inhale and exhale that you can hear in the whisper at the back of your throat, let it transfer into that smooth transition from one posture to another without feeling rushed. So bring that calmness from breath, mind to body. With arms by your sides, take a full breath in and out through your nose. Here we go. Inhale your arms overhead. Exhale, forward folds. Inhale, press to lengthen forward. Step to your version of plank. Exhale, glide forward and lower. Inhale, coil the chest to cobra. Exhale, press up, lift through the belly, and lift the hips back. Downward facing dog. 3 to 5 deep breaths. Use the pause here in this posture to refine those qualities of your breath that feel like peace, balance, focus, and stability. Please look forward. Bottom of your exhale, think of lifting your pelvic floor as you walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat. Inhale, press to lengthen forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale the arms up in mountain pose. Exhale, arms down in mountain. Surya Namaskar A. Last time, inhale the arms up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lengthen forward. From plank, exhale, glide forward and lower. Inhale into cobra. Exhale to downward facing dog. 3 to 5 deep breaths. Though this posture looks still from the outside, just like mountain pose in the beginning, feel the energy of grounding through finger spread, lengthening the spine through the tailbone, lifting up and back, and then firming down through your heels, whether or not they touch the ground. With bent knees, look forward. Bottom of the breath, lift your pelvic floor and lightly land top of your mats. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, folds. From here, keep your fingertips on the ground and step your left foot all the way to the rear of your mat. Spin the left heel to the floor. Align your right heel to intersect the arch of your left foot and bend your right knee directly over the heel facing forward along with your foot. As you press down through your feet, cartwheel your arms to rise up into warrior two. So as you're opening your arms, your stance is pretty much as wide apart as your hands are spread. Your spine is vertical, aligned, centered between your feet. And through the turning inward of your left leg, your back leg, you're allowing the complete turn out of your front leg, your right leg, so that the right outer hip feels as though it's wrapping slightly underneath your body as you track the middle of your right knee with a middle toe facing forward. Then to keep the pelvis, which is shaped like a bowl, steady upright and not spilling forward or to one side of your mat, firm the top of your left thigh bone back and feel your tailbone lengthen down, your frontal hip bones slightly lift up. And then as you reopen the arms, be able to reach through your fingertips, helping to broaden your collarbones from the sternum, a long straight line across the arms, and then relax the shoulders. Though you might add rigor by bending your right knee towards a right angle, you're also thinking of lifting the pelvic floor and imagining breathing up from the base of your spine, up the ladder of each vertebra, lifting through your crown. And with the eyes steady, choose a spot to focus them on that's just in front of your right hand. Let's take another 5 deep breaths here in this grounding posture. Warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Focus, relax the muscles around your eyes. Now keep your feet exactly where they are and just straighten your right leg. You might bring your stance a little shorter as we prepare for triangle pose. Now think of lifting your kneecaps by firming your quadriceps, front muscles of your thighs, without locking the knees. And as the legs are straight and you're opening your arms, imagine that your body in the front and the back is sandwiched between two panes of glass. And within that plane, you're sliding your pelvis towards the rear edge of your mat while reaching your right hand towards the front. Then laterally tilting your spine, set your right hand down either onto your right leg or just to the right of the leg, perhaps using a block, so that you can stack your shoulders and your wrists like one straight line again. Now feel that that right outer hip continues to roll slightly under your body. And now that you're tilting your torso towards the front of your mat, you're actively lengthening your tailbone towards your left outer heel. And as you're pressing down firmly through both feet, feel the steady support of your legs, while you might explore turning your chest slightly to face the ceiling. Feel the length along the sides of your neck as you slide your shoulder blades down the back. Feel the support of your belly as you hug your front ribs towards your back. In triangle pose, or Utthita Trikonasana, let's take another 5 deep breaths. Foot, circle your 2 hands to frame it at the top of your mat, and step to the front of your mat, forward folds. Inhale, lengthen forward, lower your hands and step your right foot all the way to back. Second side, starting in Warrior 2. As you lower your right heel, spin the toes slightly to face the front of your mat. Align your left heel to intersect the arch of your right foot. Bending your left knee just over the left heel, press down through both feet, and cartwheel your arms apart to rise. And now as you open your arms again, see that your ankles pretty much land just under your wrists, that wide stance. And from your hips, you're rotating the right leg slightly to face the front, the left leg completely to face the front, aligning the left knee with the middle toe. Feel in the turnout of your left leg, the left outer hip slightly rotates under your body. The top of your right thigh bone firming back allows your pelvis, that bowl shape, to stay neutrally upright. And then allowing the spine to be vertically centered between your feet. And as you reach through the fingertips, feel the length across your arms, broadening across the upper back, broadening across your chest. Maybe bending the front knee towards 90 degrees as you lift from pelvic floor up each vertebra of the spine. Steady your eyes in one spot, just in front of your left hand. And let's practice a state of balance internally in Virabhadrasana 2, 5 breaths. Triangles, straighten your legs. You might shorten your stance just an inch or 2. From down to your feet, engage the fronts of your thighs. Imagine those 2 panes of glass, front and back of your body, as you slide your pelvis towards the back edge of your mat. Reaching left hand forward and then down onto your left leg to stack your wrists and shoulders in one line. Now feel that left outer hip continue to wrap underneath as you press the crease of your left hip back towards your outer right heel. Steadying your eyes up towards your right thumb. If it doesn't feel good on your neck, look forward or down. Let's give another 5 breaths here in triangle pose. Utthita Trikonasana. Differently. So as you press down through your feet, inhale to rise up, And then just drag your back foot to meet your front foot. Come to the top of your mat. So now that we've opened up the hips a bit, felt grounded in some standing postures, let's play with some balance in tree pose. With your feet touching, join your palms together at your heart, and feel a sense of hugging your midline from the left and right sides of your body. Steady your eyes on something ahead, steady the sound of your breathing, and then shift your weight onto your left foot. I'm going to do the opposite side since you're facing me. Turn your right thigh open from the hip, and as you wrap the sitting bone underneath, press your right foot against your inner left ankle. You could keep your toes on the ground. Or try your inner calf, or catch hold of your ankle and press against your inner thigh. Whichever you choose, it's your experiment with balance. Feel your left and right frontal hip bones. As you level them, feel the lift of the lower belly. Ground to your standing foot and feel that lifting up through the center of your body. Maybe another 5 breaths here. You might explore raising your arms overhead to add some balance challenge, or even closing your eyes. Definitely, for me, that's challenging. Breathe in, breathe out. And on an exhale, step it down, take a deep breath, and let it go. So how do we deal with that? When we feel wavering in a posture, mentally or physically, how do we feel a sense of groundedness? Start with your breathing, that practice of equanimity through the breath. So as you bring your feet together, let's get ready for side 2. Join your hands, steady your gaze, steady your breathing. Turn out the left leg from the hip. Hug the inner ankle, inner calf, or inner thigh. As that left sitting bone draws downward towards your inner right heel, root down to the 4 corners of your right foot. Feel the firmness of hugging your midline, even with your foot and your leg. And then as you root down, feel the support to lift up. Maybe exploring raising your arms, maybe closing your eyes. 5 more breaths. Hands, step it down, and just close your eyes and take a moment to digest that mental and physical experience. Perhaps you closed your eyes and did a little tree dance like me. What went on in the mind when that happened? Or maybe you even fell over. That awareness of our reaction in those circumstances is so key to practicing how to rebalance ourselves, how to not be so judgmental perhaps of ourselves, to find a sense of lightheartedness and the calm presence underneath whatever's going on that's changing and sometimes feels like out of our control. Find that center in which you do have control of the way you feel inside. So let's start to make our way to the ground. We're going to begin with a center connecting posture. We'll start with the feet together to get into it. Bend your knees together. Sink your weight back towards your heels. You might even play with grazing the floor with your fingertips as we take about 5 breaths in chair pose to transition. So in chair, draw your weight towards your heels. As you glide your shin bones back, see that your toes are visible from where you are. Then hug the bottom of your front ribs towards your back, lengthening the tailbone down. Raise your arms only to the degree that your shoulders can relax. Neck feels long. Last 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Utkatasana, chair pose. Now imagine there's a wall behind you. You're sliding your back against. You could use your hands or not use your hands on the floor to slowly lower to sit. And as your pelvis meets the ground, slide your feet forward just enough so that you can sit tall. Bring your feet together to touch. As we prepare for Navasana, or boat pose, for strengthening core stability, imagine that from your lower belly you could zipper in and lift up. So from there you're feeling a pull upwards to lengthen your spine upright. And then relax the shoulders. Now you could use your hands on the floor to help you balance when we lift the feet up. You could press your hands against your thighs and resist with your thighs to help sit up. Or you could do hands free for more rigor, bending the knees or straightening the legs for more rigor. So tilt back just enough, lift the spine from the lower belly, arms wherever you like. Inhale, exhale, that's 5. Inhale, focus on the quality of your breathing. Exhale, 4. Inhale, exhale, 3. Inhale, exhale, 2. One more deep breath. Exhale, slowly lower your feet onto the mat and drop your knees apart. So bound angle pose, releasing the hip flexors. Catch a hold of your toes or your outer feet. And as you bring your heels close to your pelvis, press your sitting bones down and feel the lift up through the center of your spine. Now notice this naturally open space between chin and chest. Keeping your throat open there, lift your heart and breathe in. Hinge slowly from your hips as you breathe out. Taking your time, breathe in, ground the pelvis, lengthen the spine. With heart slightly lifted, exhale, fold. And if you like, you can walk the hands forward. So feel a broadening across your lower back, your sacrum. Opening up into your outer hips, your inner thighs. In that area, you might visualize your breath expanding. Inviting space, openness, and ease. Let's take another 3 deep breaths here in Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. Start with your chest and breathe in to rise up. So let's have a seat at the middle of your mat with your feet in front of you. See that your feet are about hips width apart, parallel. And as you extend the arms forward, a little more core stability work. Hug everything towards your midline from all around your torso, and then try to take a few slow breaths to carefully lower your spine to the floor. All the way on the ground, let's prepare for bridge pose. We'll practice it twice. So with your arms straight down by your sides, slide your feet back until you could almost touch your heels with your fingertips, but not. And as you keep your feet parallel, spread your toes and press the 4 corners of each foot into your mat. Press the backs of your shoulders onto the ground. Now, tilt your chin slightly back as you look towards the ceiling to maintain the natural curve of your neck and openness at your throat. We're going to prepare to lift the pelvis, hold lifted for your own count of 5 to 8 deep breaths. So as you press the feet down, when you're ready, lift the pelvis up. Keeping your thighs parallel, slide your upper arms underneath your back ribs. Keeping your arms straight, if your hands touch, interlace your fingers. If they don't, you can keep your hands apart. So you're counting 5 to 8 breaths before you use an exhale to slowly lower your spine. As you hold the pose, keep your feet still, but energetically drag them back towards your glutes by engaging your hamstrings, while lengthening the fronts of your thighs forward and spinning your inner thighs slightly towards the ground. Tilting the chin slightly back, feel the broadening of your chest while lifting it up. Great posture for stretching the fronts of the shoulders, encouraging more upright posture in the torso. And then when you decide to come down, release the hands, articulate the release of each vertebra onto the floor. When your pelvis meets the ground, Just rest for 3 deep breaths before we go up one more time. By the way, this is Dillinger. Press down to your feet. Here we go. Arms close to your sides. Ground the shoulders. When you're ready, breathe in and lift your pelvis. Slide the upper arms underneath. Perhaps clasp your fingers. Press the outsides of your upper arms into the floor. Energetically, but not visibly, drag your heels back towards your glutes while stretching the fronts of your thighs forward, spinning inner thighs slightly towards the ground. Feel the openness in your throat and the expansion across your heart space. Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, bridge pose. And when you decide to come down, exhale, slowly kiss the earth, one vertebra at a time. Separate your feet on the mat wider than hips distance and knock your knees in together to touch. Just a gentle way of stretching across your lower back. Place your left hand on your heart, place your right hand on your lower belly, and close your eyes, breathe into your palms, 3 cycles of breath. From here, turn over to one side, press into the floor with your hands, and gently lift your body up to sit as you move into a seated spinal twist. So as you face forward, extend your left leg forward. I'll be your mirror. And as you ground your sitting bones, right foot in front of the right hip, just feel how upright your spine is. You might keep it here as you set up for the twist. You might go a little further by crossing the right foot outside your left knee, as long as you can continue to sit tall with your 2 sitting bones on the ground. Or a little further and bend your left knee too. Placing your right hand behind your pelvis, raise your left arm. Pressing into the floor with all of your body touching it, breathe in and lift your spine tall. Relax the shoulders and just at your waistline, exhale, twist to your right and either hold your front shin or cross your elbow outside that thigh. Then again, root down as you breathe in to sit taller. Breathe out, perhaps twist a little deeper. Let's give it another 3 deep breaths here as we neutralize the spine, add some more mobility to it, and even gently massage and stimulate your digestive organs. On your next exhale, unwind, and just release both legs straight. The second side. However you set up the first side is probably what you're going to do here. So either the left foot is in front of the left hip, crossed outside the right knee, or you're also bending your right knee. Place your left hand behind your pelvis, raise your right arm, step into the floor as you breathe in to lengthen your spine. Breathe out, rotate your rib cage, hold your shin, or hook your elbow outside the thigh. Inhale, root down to lift up. Exhale, deepen the twist. Another 3 deep breaths. And from here, let's straighten both legs forward. We're going to prepare for a seated forward fold. So if you have something like a strap, you could wrap around the balls of your feet, both for leverage, but also to give your shoulders ease so they don't round forward. You can use that. If you don't, place your hands beside your hips to start. We'll begin in Dandasana, stick pose, sitting upright. Flex your feet, hips width apart. Press your big toe mounds forward. Feel your inner thighs slightly spin towards the ground as you press the sitting bones down. Lift from the lower spine, middle spine, top of the head. Relax the shoulders. Feel the open space at your throat, and maintaining that, hinge forward just a little bit from your hips, then pause. Ground the pelvis. Breathe in to lengthen the spine. Keep flexing your feet, and then fold another little bit. If you don't have a strap, walk your hands forward and maybe hold on to the backs of your legs, or clasp your big toes, as long as you can do so without rounding the spine and closing the front of your throat. Instead, find a little bit of lifting the chest like a baby cobra as you press the shoulder blades down your back. From your belly in towards your lower back. And let's take another 3 deep breaths here in Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. Leading from your chest, breathe in to slowly rise up. So let's come to lie down on your back. We'll take a simple version of lifting your legs up higher than your heart. You could bend your knees, give your back a massage by circling your thighs at the hips, together or apart. Or you could bend the knees apart and turn out the legs like a supine frog. Lift the soles of the feet and parallel the feet, catching hold of their outer sides in happy baby. Or lift the legs straight up like an L shape if that feels okay on your hamstrings. Perhaps resting your hands in your belly. Find the most restful way to lift your legs up higher than your heart for just half a minute. And maybe close your eyes and take a mental scan of your whole body here. From the bottom of your feet, relax. Ankles, calves, thighs. Feel your pelvis as you relax your glutes, your belly, your back, your chest, your shoulders, your neck, your arms, your face. And then take one more breath, a longer exhalation than inhalation. Feet to the floor and sliding your legs straight forward. Roll your legs inward and outward softly until you just let them relax naturally. Turning the palms to face up, slightly away from your sides, can help to relax the shoulders down. Feel that your neck has a natural curve and you let your skull just be heavy. And with eyes closed, exhale this breath completely and hold. Into your stomach, inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Out to your mouth for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, belly, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, mouth, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, belly, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, mouth, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let go of controlling your breathing, of moving your body. Rest in awareness as you allow those external factors to be still. Lie still. Feel your breath flowing naturally. Observe the way your body and mind are feeling as an effect of your practice. To deepen, helping to wake up your body with gentle movements in your fingers, your toes, eventually stretching your arms and your legs, keeping your eyes closed. Bending your knees into your chest. Turn over to one side. And just let your head rest for a moment here. Maintaining the internal feeling of stillness. So that as you feel ready, you gently press into the ground and slowly lift your body up to find a comfortable seat. For just 3 minutes of meditation, where your posture feels alert yet relaxed. Eyes might remain closed. Hands resting on your lap. You might bring the thumb and first finger to touch. Continuing to breathe naturally. Choose one focus to practice steadying your attention on. Whether it be the feeling of your breath coming and going, or a subtle, consistent sound in the background like the gentle rain, or air conditioning if that's on. And as your mind might start to wander during the practice of meditation, notice that and realign it to that chosen focus each time. So that by a steadied focus over a duration of time, you might soften into a more abstract feeling of steadiness. But without expectation, be true to your practice without judging yourself. Just being in it. So sitting tall, relax, breathe naturally, steady your focus. 3 minutes. the surface that is your body. Ground beneath, supporting it. Feel your spine lift towards the sky. Breathe out. So I'd like to close the practice with a short excerpt from The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. When you are no longer absorbed in your melodrama, but instead sit comfortably deep inside the seat of awareness, you will start to feel this flow of energy coming up from deep within. This flow has been called Shakti. This flow has been called spirit. This is what you begin to experience if you hang out with the self, the universal self, instead of hanging out with inner disturbances. You don't have to get rid of loneliness. You just cease to be involved in it. It's just another thing in the universe, like cars, grass, and the stars. It's none of your business. Just let it go. Let things go. That's what the self does. Awareness does not fight. Awareness releases. Awareness is simply aware while everything in the universe parades before it. I hope that in one aspect or another, through breath work, through stability in your body, through inner stability practice, you've touched upon that very important practice of equanimity, especially through external factors that might seem beyond your control. As things change, and they ultimately change, you find the steadiness within you. Thank you for practicing with me tonight. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.